Okay.
Welcome to the Monday Motivation with Eric and Friends podcast with your host, Eric F. King, featuring world-class speakers, coaches, and consultants. Join us every Monday as we dive into empowering conversations that motivate, inspire, and educate entrepreneurs. Kickstart your week with valuable insights that help you not just survive, but thrive. This is your go-to podcast to start your week strong and live your best life. Let's make Mondays the fuel for your success journey.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Motivational Monday. My name is Eric F. King, and we have here with us today Annie Asong and Leah Garcia. We are super excited to be here. We are here, by the way, we are here every single Monday, the same time, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. And today we have an incredible topic that I'm sure a lot of you can relate to, and we're going to give a lot of tips, okay? Today we're talking about financial strategies for your business and your life. So if you are seeing us right now, definitely put a comment in the chat. Tell us where you are seeing us from. You can say hi from Chicago, hi from wherever you are. I know there are people here from all over the country and actually all over the world, right? So we want to hear from you. And before I jump into it, I just want to let everybody know that, in business, I've been a business owner for over 25 years. And in business, a lot of times we focus so much on our product, right? Try to make the product the best, the service the best, I'm the best. We focus so much on that, and a lot of times we forget about actually making money. Right? Making money. Because that's the ultimate goal, right? You want to make a profit so you can stay in business. Okay. And then some of us, when we do make the money, then we don't know what to do with it, or we don't. Oh my goodness! I think LinkedIn just sent a message. Anyway, if you don't see us, folks, just go to YouTube. I will send it to YouTube. Lord have mercy. But anyway, we're gonna keep on going. This is recorded, by the way, so make sure you send it out to your YouTube folks. So anyway, so today we're gonna start with our resident financial expert. Okay, so let me just say I am not a financial expert. Okay, I'm a sales coach and visibility coach. I'm not a financial expert, but when I do speak, I will speak about what I know regarding finances, like what I've done, what's worked for me. Right, so there will be good tips, but the person I'll even give you better tips is about to speak. Okay, she's about to speak. Yes. We call her the dynasty builder. Why? Because she helps you build dynasties, right? All things money, whether you want to make money, invest money, all things money, this is the person that you want to go to. Okay, she is the go-to person. And she is here live, even though it's 4:04 in the morning in California where she is. But she was so excited to be here, right? To give you these tips that she's here. So, and also she's a third degree black belt in karate, which means she's a very disciplined person, right? She knows how to work hard, and you do not want to get in a fight with her. All right. So without further ado, let's bring on Miss Leah Garcia. The floor is yours.
Happy Money Monday, champions. Thank you so much, Eric F. King of Collaboration. Well, I am so excited about this topic today, but I'm excited to talk about money every single day, right? Every single day, I love to talk about money. And if you're feeling like your money's a little funny, if you have too much month at the end of your money, listen, this talk is going to be for you because we're going to drop a bunch of golden bars here. We're going to take off the gloves and tell you the real deal. Here's the thing. Is that I talk about dynasties, building dynasties. And oftentimes people kind of look at me like I have three eyeballs. Listen, any one of you, no matter where you're starting with financially, no matter where you are right now, no matter how much money you think you have or you don't have, can build your family dynasty. It starts with a decision. It starts with you right here. You showed up. It's because you're champions. Listen, champions don't get up at 2:30. Champions aren't on here at 7 a.m. You that made it, and if you found us on YouTube because LinkedIn's acting squirrely, you're even that stellar champion. So this conversation is for you, but we're going to go deep. I'm going to give you 3 golden nuggets. I'm going to try to keep it to only 3 golden nuggets on how you can build your financial future and what things can you do to really build your legacy, not just in your finances, but in your life. But we're going to go deep here. This is the real conversation. There's no puppy dogs and rainbows here. So number 1, you got to set the table for wealth. Listen, you got to know what you're going to do with your money before you get the money. If you're waiting to make that final decision until you finally have it, it'll never happen. It's going to avoid you. This is exactly why you don't have it, because here's the deal. Money loves speed. Money loves speed. Wealth takes time, but money loves speed. And the reason why people can't move quickly with their money is because they don't have their true north. They don't know their core values. They don't understand some basic financial concepts. So when the money arrives, they're totally undecided. They're totally bamboozled by every little thing that walks by them. Because here's the thing. When everything is important, nothing is important. Everything looks great when you have this money if you don't know what your values are. You don't know some core principles of what you're going to do before the money shows up. That's your money compass. That's your true north. Because if you don't tell your money where to go, it's going to disappear on things that don't matter. So you have to build a system and know what you're going to do before you have it. You got to be prepared to receive it. So set your money table. Make it decadent, make it beautiful, have all the things in the right place. Number 2, open up your cash flow, open up your money flow. We've all heard it that cash is king, but let me tell you something. I've seen a whole lot of kings and queens that don't have any money and they're totally broke. It's because they're trying to manage their chaos through their paychecks. You have to understand is that you have to push the pedal hard, which we're all doing. We're getting up early. But then what we do is we throw it into reverse. We start grinding the gears and burning out the engine. And what I mean by that is we don't talk about money correctly. We complain. We're feeling guilty about charging. We're being careless with our money language. We're being careless with the money. We see a penny and we think it's nothing. We walk by it like it's nothing. We're trying to give you the blessing, but you're walking right by it. You have to be open and available and ready to receive. Otherwise, your actions are not congruent and you're blocking it with your stinking thinking. I see that a lot. And that will cancel out every single time because cash flow needs your intention. And then it will pour to you in buckets. But does your bucket have a hole in it? Does it have a hole in it right now? You got to stop treating money like it's a guest and start treating money like it has a reserved seat at your table. Number 3, and I'm going to shout myself out. You know, I got to talk about this, the Wall of Wealth. You got to download my free ebook of the Wall of Wealth, because oftentimes people don't understand building their financial future is just like building a home. But many people will put on the roof and the windows before they ever lay a proper foundation. And this is what I mean. They start talking about things like flipping real estate and Bitcoin and precious metals, but they have no foundation. Listen, it is an order of operation. If you download my free ebook, you're going to find your blind spots. You're going to find the areas that are going to be those blind spots that will destroy you if you don't have it set up properly. People are talking about doing all these esoteric investments, but they don't have the right health insurance. They don't have any life insurance. They don't have any disability plan or any type of living benefits, because when the storm hits, that's when things go twisted. When that diagnosis comes, when that unexpected bill happens because you didn't have the health insurance, that's when you got to start selling your home. That's when you have to take the money out of the college plan. It's an order of operation. And it's one thing to have money or to attract money, but it's a totally different muscle to build that family dynasty. So I want you to remember, set the table, open up your cash flow, build your wall of wealth, build the stability, the confidence and freedom. And I'll leave you with this. Your vision for your life or your family was given to you. It wasn't a conference call. It was given to you. You're a champion. That's why you're here. And you absolutely can build your family dynasty. The plans of the diligent are led surely to abundance. That's Proverbs. And with that, I'm going to hand it back to you, Mr. Eric.
All right, all right. Wow, so much information. We love it. Thank you so much, Queen Leah. And that is a great way to kick off our day today. All right, all right. So for those of you that are watching us now, if you are on YouTube, definitely put this YouTube link. Just go to Eric F. King and put it on LinkedIn. I want everybody to be able to see it from LinkedIn. For some reason, it's not. This is not coming up on LinkedIn today. So. All right, so we're going to keep it going. We're going to keep it going. Great tips, great tips. Now, if you have any questions, put it in the chat. All right, put it in the chat. We're going to do our very best to answer it, and I'm sure Leah will probably do more of the answering because she is the expert in this area, right? This is what she does for a living, right? So you definitely want to reach out to her if you have any additional questions. All right, so now we are going to go from California all the way to Europe to hear from a young man. I don't know how young he is, but I'm going to call him a young man. I'm going to call him a young man who helps you to market your business, right? Speaking about finances won't come if you can't market this, if you can't sell this, right? You have to be able to do that. So he helps you become famous online. He helped me on LinkedIn and a lot of other people, and I'm sure he can help you as well. Okay, they call him the fame expert. So, Mr. Eni Asong, the floor is yours.
Young, he says. He called me young. Imagine that. I'm young. I am younger. I'm younger heart anyway, right? So I'll take it. Right, my friends. Oh, a big topic. Right. Who wants to make money? Please put a one in the chat. If you want to make money, put a one in the chat. If you don't want to make money, put a note in the chat. That's fine. All right. Who wants to make money? Okay. I'll make it easy for you, my friends. Okay. You can't make money unless you're the mint. Fact number one. Only the mints can make money. For you and I, we get money by serving people. The amount of wealth or money that you build is a direct correlation to how much you serve. Want more money? Serve more. Simple as that. So let's start there, right? I'm going to give you 5 or 6 things I've learned over the years. Queen Leah is a financial expert amongst us. So I think I've learned a few things along the way. Let's see if it can help you. Okay. So number one we've dealt with. I guess here's a harsh truth I learned a long time ago. You will never build wealth by working for someone. You're not going to get rich by working for someone. Simply because of the way PAYE is what we call it in England, pay as you earn works. See, every time you get paid for your job, a big chunk of it goes towards a tax man. I don't like tax man. I was going to say I've got nothing against tax man, but it's not. You're paying tax. The more you earn, the more tax you pay. You're going to have to find a way to get your money to grow without or outside of working for someone, outside of a job. This is where number 3 comes in, where I say, look, you need to make money while you sleep. Yeah. It's called investing your money, my friends. Now, I see people every day, Queen Leah, who try to play the game on their mobile, investing money. They lose all their money. Go to an expert. Now, make your financial advisor your best friend. I met with him a couple of days ago. Now, to review my investment portfolio. Get an expert who knows what they're doing, and with a track record in making your money grow. I say my financial advisor, he's pretty much everything. Whatever he says, I do. And every time it works out perfectly fine. It works out great. That's partly how I've built my money so far. Okay, so we're doing well. I guess here's a fact that I think you might want to know. It's easier to build wealth to build your financial foundations, as Queen Leah said, when it's not just you. In other words, two people can make more money than just you alone, no matter how clever you are, right? They say, look, my wife is a big part of my wealth building, I guess, ideas and program. We'll half the costs and we'll bring in double the money, right? Your partner will help you in your life, in your business, work on, but of course, you have to make those relationships work. Now, who you know matters. Who you spend time with matters if you want to build wealth. See, let me go on to the next one. One that's little spoken about. See, for a long time, I tried to out-earn my spending. I thought if I earn more, I can spend more. No, it doesn't work like that. You can't. It doesn't. You're never going to outrun your spending. The simple way, what I learned is simply cut your costs. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. This is a fact, right? Cut your costs. I see people who have two wages. They earn thousands every week, every month. Okay, maybe not every week, but they earn thousands every week. And they spend it all. And they're still broke. Damn, that's wrong. That's wrong. Don't be that person. Spend less and then keep more of the money you earn. Even more, don't earn the money in the way that sounds like a job. Invest your money. Talk to a Queen Leah. Invest your money. Make money grow while you sleep. You want to build real wealth. Real wealth is not survival money. Real wealth is financial freedom. That's the goal. That's real money, right? That's when money becomes a joy. I'm sure someone's going to argue that you don't need money, but you do. In fact, that's a fact of it, right? And you need to work. Last I will leave you with, my friends, is this. I learned very early on. I was 16. I learned if I wanted money, I had to start working there and then. It's never too late to start building your wealth, but the earlier you start, the easier it is. The more you can accumulate, right? So start early. Best time to start was 10 years ago. If you haven't got that, the next best time to start is today. I'll leave you with that, my friends.
All right. Thank you for that. Oh, my goodness. He left us with a lot, folks. A lot. Wow. Great tips. Man, I wish I had all this when I started my business. I'm telling you, this is just incredible what we are learning this morning. And it's not over. We have a lot more. So like I said, definitely put your name in the chat. Tell us in the YouTube. Tell us where you're zooming in from today. And also share this on LinkedIn. I'm trying to do it, but not everybody may see my LinkedIn, right? So definitely all you have to do is take the link from YouTube, put it on LinkedIn and say, here we are live, Monday motivational call. Boom, put it on there so more people can join us. All right. Okay. So I'm going to give you a few tips. And like I said before, these tips are based on my experience, what I've actually experienced. Because as a business owner, you make mistakes, right? And then you learn from them. So what I'm about to share with you will prevent you from making the mistakes I made. All right. So I'm going to give you 5 tips. Okay. Number 1. Don't underprice your offer. Sometimes we feel that if we make our offer the cheapest in the market, then everybody will buy it. No, not at all. Right? The value people put on your offer is the value you put on it. Right? I spoke with a gentleman, this was probably a couple years ago, and he told me he has a 6-month coaching program. I said, that's awesome. He said, I meet with everybody in the coaching program once a week, every week for 6 months. I said, that is great. And I said, so how much you charge? He said, I charge $4.99. I said, what do you mean? He said, I charge $499 to meet with people for, 25 days in 6 months. I said, why would you do that? He said, because people aren't, don't have a lot of money, and I can't charge them a lot of money. I said, is your time not worth anything? Where you get on a call for an hour and a half every week for 6 months for $500, right? So I said, you are hurting yourself, because some people won't even sign up because it's too cheap. Most people won't even show up, right? So don't undervalue what you do. Don't undervalue what you do. You want people to see the value in it, and make sure you're not the cheapest. Because guess what? If you're the cheapest, somebody will undercut you. Then you have to undercut them, and then now it's a race for the bottom. Who can make the least money? Who can be the brokest of us all? So don't do that. Don't do that, right? What you do is you make sure what you do is of high value. The people that can afford it will be able to afford it. And by the way, there are always people out there that can afford it. In fact, let me just tell you something. There are more people out there that can afford it than you can even handle. Trust me. Way more people out there that can afford it than you can handle. Look, I was at one point I was contemplating having an offer that was 25,000, and I do have it. For people that are interested, it's totally different from my business. But I was like, do people have that kind of money? And then I was on a conference call with a guy who was sharing his offer and everything, and his offer was $75,000. And I said, mine is nothing. Mine is nothing. And guess what? People were buying. Yeah. So don't ever think that people don't have money. If you come across people that don't have money, it's because you're in the wrong pool. You're fishing in the wrong pond. That's all, right? People will always have money for your offer if the value exceeds the cost. All right, that's number one. Number two is get advisors to help you. Don't do this alone. Okay, don't do this alone. Like, if you want to learn how to swim, will you just jump in the water? No, you're gonna sign up for a swimming class so somebody that knows how to swim can teach you how to swim, right? Or else you just drown. That's not cool. Right? You just drowned, right? Like, what happened to Billy? Well, he drowned. How did he drown? He tried learning how to swim by himself. Why would he do that? Poor Billy. All right, so let's leave Billy alone. All right, so let's keep going. All right, so get advisors. So a CPA is an advisor, right? An insurance agent is an advisor, right? Just a financial expert like Leah is an advisor, right? A lawyer, right, to protect your business, or a legal service, right? So get the advisors you need, get the counsel, right? So it doesn't fall apart. A lot of businesses fall apart and just die off because of one issue, a financial issue, a legal issue, and even your computer, you want someone to help you to protect it so someone doesn't come and steal all your stuff, right? Again, an expert, right? So you want to get the advisors. And I recommend Leah Garcia, by the way. Not that I'm being biased. Actually, I am being biased, but I know what I'm talking about. She's one of the best in the business, so you can't go wrong. So when in doubt, if you have any questions about financial issues, just reach out to her. She'll help you out. All right? All right, so number two. Number three is focus on income producing activity. This was big because, let me tell you something. When you're working at a job, you can do the least work and you'll still get the paycheck. And look, let me tell you a secret. I had a job once where when I went to that job, I was always looking at the time, right? Because I wanted to get off. So, but I wasn't doing as much work as I should. But I still wanted to get paid the same amount, right? And that's what I did. But then when I became a business owner, I started part-time, but then I went full-time. But then as a full-time entrepreneur, I realized that I can't do that anymore because no one's sending me a check. After 2 weeks, I look at my account. There's no direct deposit. What's going on? It's because 100% of my efforts determine 100% of my income, right? So I want you to get in that mindset. Even if you're part-time in your business, have that mindset that you want to do income producing activity every day. Every day when I write my list the day before, I always make sure the top 3 things are income producing. Because if not, you can jump into that rabbit hole where you're busy, but you're not making any money. And here's a tip for you. Write this down, circle it. Money comes from people. Money comes from people. Someone's saying, well, Eric, of course money comes from people. Then why do you spend all your time tweaking your website, making your offer better, tidying up your desk? You're not talking to people, right? Posting. Look, my team posts multiple times a day, but that's not where I'm generating money. Just posting doesn't bring money, right? So you want to be talking to people. You want to be in front of people, whether you're face to face, at a Starbucks talking, or you're on Zoom. You want to be face to face, 1-to-1 with people, because that's how the money comes in. So if you go a whole month and you haven't really talked to people, then you're probably really not making any money, because money comes from people. All right. Thank you. Queen Leah gave me a thumbs up and a clap for that. High five, everything. Look, I'm giving you the information I'm giving you folks, I wish someone told me when I started. Because I made a lot of mistakes. So I don't want you to make those mistakes. That's number 3, I believe. Number 4, I think Annie talked about the tax man. The tax code is created to benefit entrepreneurs. It benefits entrepreneurs. People hear of a billionaire that only paid 10% tax or 7% tax, and this is ridiculous. This is an outrage. Well, guess what? It's always going to be like that. It's always going to be like that. Don't get mad at the player. That's just the game, right? The person knows how to work the system, because the system benefits entrepreneurs. So here's the deal. Number 1, put 25% away of what you make to send to the tax man. Make sure at least, right? Quarterly, if your business is big enough, right, you want to put money away, right? And remember when I talked about having an expert, you want to have an expert that will tell you what you can deduct, what you can't. Don't deduct things because your friend told you, oh, it's good to know. If your friend's not an expert, no, because the IRS don't play. I know that's not correct English, but that's how I want to say it. They don't play. They don't play. So make sure you're doing the right thing. Okay. That's all I'm going to say, because I'm not a tax expert, but what I'm telling you is what I know, right? That's what I know. All right. Number 5, separate your expenses. Separate your business expenses from your personal expenses, because that also gets people in trouble, right? Separate them. So have a bank account for your personal and bank account for your business. Now, can you take money from your personal and give it to your business? Yes. Owner's draw, just put in the owner's draw. You can do that. However, you want to make sure they're separated. So if you're buying something for your business, use the credit card for your business. Don't use your personal credit card, because then you mix it up, right? And IRS doesn't like that. They call it commingling of funds, and that can get you in trouble. Okay. So again, these are tips that I'm telling you based on experience over the years that can help you in your business and in your life, because people always separate business from life. It's one and the same. My business is my life, and it's part of their life, right? It's part of my life, right? So I had to wake up early in my life to do my business this morning. Right? I had to wake up early in my life to do my business. So it's one and the same. So, all right. So that's what I want to share. Appreciate that. So we are going to, by the way, let me just acknowledge some people here. Simi, I see you. I see you in the chat for YouTube. Good to see you. The urban gypsy. Good to see you. I don't know who you are, but that's the name I see there. And yeah, I know a lot of people. Oh, Paula, of course. Paula Washington's here, the great Paula Washington. Coral from across the pond is here. Good to see everybody. All right. So what we're going to do right now, real quick, is we're going to go around the room. each of us will tell you what we do, what we have going on, how we help people. Okay. And then we're going to get your questions and go from there. So let me just start real quick. My name is Eric F. King. I am the founder and CEO of studiospeaking.com. Okay. Studiospeaking.com. It's the number one stage in the world for speakers, coaches, and authors to share their expertise and monetize their message. Okay. To learn more, just go to studiospeaking.com and watch our 4-minute video. It'll tell you all about it. And if you have an interest in speaking on our stage, if you would like me personally to promote you, like I'm personally going to bring you up on stage personally and give you an award for your past accomplishment and promote you on my channels. Like I'm personally going to do that. And there's so much more that we do for people. That's why we have, I think, like 30 something testimonials on our website, studiospeaking.com. Okay. And also I am a sales coach. For those of you that don't know, that's what I've been doing for many years before I started my business, before I started my studio speaking business. So if you have any questions about that, sales, or you want some tips, just message me on LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever, and we can chat. Okay. All right. So now we're going to go to Queen Leah. Queen Leah, tell us what you do, if you have anything going on, and then after that, we'll go to any awesome. Go ahead, Queen Leah.
Absolutely. Thank you for dropping all those golden nuggets, Eric. And Godfather, lots of great stuff, a lot of gold there. My name is Leah Garcia, and I'm the Dynasty Builder. I'm going to help you properly protect, distribute, and transfer your wealth. So if that sounds great to you, I'd love to chat with you. I love no pitch coffee chats. If I haven't enjoyed one with you, let's get together. Let's have a little conversation. And I also host Wealthy Wednesday live every week at 10 a.m. Pacific. I'm always looking for guest speakers. So if you're looking for an opportunity to talk, Miss Coral is going to be on my show very, very soon here in a couple of weeks. I'm super excited about that. I've had Eric and I've had the Godfather as well. And also I would say, please come and download my free ebook. Go to my website. It is an interactive website. And there's lots of free tools for you there. And one is the Wall of Wealth, where you can look at my one-page financial plan and you can quickly identify the areas that are missing in your money. And with that, we're going to hear from the Godfather. How do we reach you? What do you have going on?
So the simplest way for me, is LinkedIn. That's where I am most of the time. That's where I'm all the time, to be fair. I do put content on YouTube as well. That reminds me. If you're on YouTube, please like and comment on today's video. It'd be really helpful. Engage, right? We will need engagement, right? So my priority these days, which is part of my mission, to empower people. I want to transform lives. So I do that through, I guess, our publishing services, through our event services, and through my public speaking. But also, I think we're doing many more workshops these days, workshops and masterclasses. They say there's only so much you can get from free events. So come along and learn from the experts what really works. That's what masterclass is. So my next one is on the 31st of March. And it's about building wealth, really. It's about how you make your first 10K month in business. And then do that, and how to do that on repeat. So we're going to show you 3 simple steps. It's not as hard as it looks. I didn't say it was easy. I said it's not as hard as it looks. So understanding it is fine. We'll help you understand. It'll help you create an action plan to implement what you learn. And then go and implement it and make real money. And then you start building your wealth and building your legacy. Everything we talk about only works if you make real money, right? So that's what I'll put a link in the comments. So do go and buy your ticket. Yes, I said that deliberately. Eric, back to you, my friend.
All right, we appreciate that. Yes, and we appreciate you saying it deliberately because people need to hear it and to make deliberate action. Take deliberate action. So appreciate that. Great tips. By the way, I didn't tell you that you guys can reach me on LinkedIn or Instagram or YouTube, wherever, Eric F. King. Don't look for Eric King because you'll look all day. Look for Eric F. King and you'll find me in a second. In 1 second. All right. So that's how you reach me. Or you can go through Coral. Coral, you'll see her. She's right here on YouTube right now. All right. Someone had a comment here that I want to highlight. Let's see. What's her name? The Urban Gypsy, I believe. She said, look for an EA, not a CPA. Okay, so now, yeah. So let me just say that an EA may have some strategies because I guess they work with the IRS, but there's nothing wrong with having a CPA. CPA is trained in everything concerning a small business. So I'm not an expert. Maybe Queen Leah can speak to that, because some people want to know. So Queen Leah, I see you nodding your head. Why don't you speak to that? Go ahead.
Yes, great point. I'm glad you highlighted that comment. So we need to understand first that most tax people are historians. It doesn't matter what their title is. The difference between an enrolled agent and a CPA is licensed by the state. An enrolled agent is licensed by the state by the IRS. Okay, so it doesn't mean that one knows one more than the other. It's really about what is their purpose. And I would say this, when you're looking for a tax professional, look for a couple of things. Number one, are they a specialist in your area of expertise? So if they're a great CPA for your dentist, however, you're a contractor, construction worker, that's probably not the right person for you. Number two, you want somebody that can take you through an audit. So whatever their title is, if they can't take you through an audit, then that's probably not the right person. And number three, and this one is critical, find somebody that you feel totally, completely comfortable with, because they're going to know everything about you, every dollar you spend, even the mattress money that they know about it. And you will feel comfortable. If they're not your best friend, like Eric, I believe said that, no, it's Godfather. You want that person to be your best friend, truly. If you don't feel really comfortable with them, then you are not going to be honest with them, or they're not going to be able to help you. And then finally, you want somebody who is a strategist. You want somebody who's going to give you tax ideas. Eric talked about it earlier. It's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. And if they're not helping you to strategize on how to keep more wealth, then they're just going to say, this is what you made, this is what you owe. No, they want to come to you with ideas, strategies, because the tax code is a treasure map if you understand how to leverage it. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with interviewing a few people, right? You don't have to just, the first person you see, okay, well, since you're the first person, I might as well just have, no, you can interview them. Interview a CPA, interview an EA, whatever, right? Interview a few to see the person that most resonates with you and what you're doing. All right. But thank you for that comment. We always like comments like that gets people talking. All right, so let's go into our questions real quick. If you have a question, put it in the chat. Put it in YouTube so I can see it. The question by Coral from across the pond is, what financial systems like budgeting, forecasting, tracking are essential for growth? Okay, financial systems. So generally, let's talk about financial systems here. I will let Queen Leah start, and then we'll go to Annie and then myself. Go ahead.
Fantastic question. I would say it starts with a spending plan. I don't believe in the word budget. I believe that budgets are punitive, that they make us feel like we're on punishment, right? I talk about a spending plan. So you do want a spending tracker, because what we track expands, and what we track expands, and what we track and report expands exponentially. So you do want that accountability partner. You want to know where your money's coming in, and you want to know where it's going out. If you would like a free one, reach out to me. I've got a spending tracker for you. What do you think, Godfather? What do you think about the question?
Oh, yeah. In business, many people don't know the issue of numbers. You have to know your numbers. There's many numbers, many. Revenue, income, that's only one number, and sales is only one number. You need to understand the difference between your income and profit margins, for example. Now you have to truly understand, even gross and net, all of those things, they make a difference, right? If you don't know your numbers, you're stuck. You're not gonna. Queen Leah mentioned, have you got holes in your bucket? So many businesses have holes in the buckets. You can't fill a bucket that's got holes. That's the point, right? It's because whatever you do is it's always leaking at the bottom, right? I'm saying you need to there's many numbers to know. Talk to a business coach, man, because I had to work with a business coach to understand. I truly had to understand the numbers. If you don't get the numbers, you're screwed. Sorry.
I'll let you slide on that one. That's a semi curse. It's a semi curse. It's not a full blown curse word. So hey, I'll let you slide on that one. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's so funny. I had a lady speak on my stage last month or the month before.
We lost your visual, Eric.
Oh, you did? Okay, there you go.
You're back.
Thank you. I had a lady speak on my stage last month, February, and she's very passionate about what she speaks about. And in her videos, sometimes she curses a little bit, right? And like I wanted to bring her on my stage because she gives a lot of value, but I didn't want the cursing. So I said, look, do me a favor. No cursing though. She said, okay, Eric, for you, I'm not going to curse. And she did a great job. So she didn't curse at all. I won't mention her name because you don't need to know because she didn't curse, right? But yeah, this is a family show. And thanks for, for both of you for, keeping it clean. Most of the time, right, Eddie? Most of the time. All right, so let's keep going. Yeah, so for me, I just feel like you have to have systems, right? Like I use QuickBooks and somebody handles that for me, right? Because it's a system where everything's categorized the right way, and every month they look at it to make sure that it is what it's supposed to be. So at the end of the year, I'm not scrambling to find this and find that, right? So always have whatever you do, systems work. Systems work. That's why McDonald's sells the most burgers in the world. They don't have the best burgers. They have one of the worst burgers to me. Right, but they have a system whereby 16-year-olds can run the whole McDonald's. Like you can go to McDonald's full of 16-year-olds and they'll run it perfectly because of a system, right? So you want to definitely use systems. All right, thank you, Carl. By the way, if anybody else has any questions, put it in the chat. Just put question and then put it in the chat. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So let's go to another call question because I know she had one here. Let's see, Carl. Okay. Okay, here we go. Oh no, that's more generic. Let's do this one. All right. How can we reinvest our profits strategically to scale our business instead of just increasing expenses? Very good question. So how can we reinvest our profits, which is very important. That's a tip right there, right? Strategically to scale our business instead of just increasing expenses. So I'll let Queen Leah handle that.
Yeah, for sure. I love this question because it really implies that you, first of all, are reinvesting in your business. If you're an entrepreneur, that's got to be high on your priorities. You've got to reinvest back into your business. So when you get your commissions, right? When people pay you, look at what can I do to increase what I'm doing? And I would say, get with Godfather. I would say, get with Eric, because they're going to teach you strategies on how you can talk to. Eric always says, one-on-one is outdated. It is one too many. And both of them are going to help you to do that. Great question. What do you say, Godfather?
Oh, I suppose like this suggests that you're making money in your business. So let's celebrate that, right? Because not many people do. I suppose you have to understand the vehicles that exist. Essentially, so if you're self-employed, for example, there are different pots and different ways that you can defer your income to the end of the year, for example, and then invest that money, right? But to invest that money, you have to understand different types of investments. Some investments are put your money in for years. Some investments, you can do for short term, high interest. But you have to understand where these different pots are. Talk to a financial advisor, basically. They will tell you where you can put your money and how you can make money quickly, and then have the money when you need it. Because in a business, you don't want to invest your money and then have it tied away for for forever. And then when on a rainy day, you're stuck. It's making sure you understand those pots and how they really work.
Very good. Very good. Thank you so much. Yes, absolutely. Congratulations that you're actually reinvesting, because a lot of people, they make money and then they go blow it, right? Then they buy a nicer car, and then right, they upgrade their car. Now they have this Mercedes Benz, but they don't have a business anymore. You know what I mean? Oh my goodness! Then they have to find a place to live, but they have a nice car. Right? Anyway, people make those mistakes, right? So you definitely want to reinvest. You want to reinvest, and you want to stay lean as much as possible.
Yeah.
When I say lean, which that means don't buy unnecessary things. Like, I was talking to a business owner once, and she was telling me she's got, she said, she said, I'm going to, I'm leasing this office space, and she was telling me about, the office space and everything. I said, but I thought you work nationwide, like you meet people online. She goes, yeah. I said, why do you need an office space? She said, well, because I have to meet people from time to time, right? So I said, so how much are you paying for the office space? She said, maybe about $5K a month. I said, $5K a month? Like, you know how much money that's going out of your business? I forgot what they call them, but there are places where you can rent the space, right, for anytime you have to meet somebody. Somebody tell me what it is if you remember. Like, but yeah, for $200, I think they charge. I've used one once in an area when I traveled. You can have pay per month, or you can pay per visit. Where the place is already set up, their offices. You can go. There's a kitchen. You can have a drink, whatever you want, right? But don't just go blow 5,000 every month on a place. You just kill your business, right? So that's what I would say. Just be careful about the expenses. And when Queen Leah speaks, she'll probably touch on that. Okay. All right. So let's go with this question. How can we avoid common money traps like overspending? Very good. So that actually is part of what we're talking about right now. So Queen Leah, if you can share with the group.
Yeah, you can have those remote offices that, and there's a lot of brands, but then just look in your town, they're everywhere. They're even here in Monterey. You can do that. You don't have to have your logo and everything. It's a place to go to meet people, and they're super affordable. You can even just have a mailbox address. If you need an address to look professional, you can do that. You can have a professional phone number and give the illusion of having an office, right, without writing a check. And so this is the trap that many people fall into, especially entrepreneurs. And Eric was alluding to this, is that people want to look wealthy. So what do? They buy the car. They try to have the things. They try to make it seem like they are spending all this money when they're really just using their credit cards. So it's really understanding what your core values are. What's important to you? Who cares what your car? Nobody cares what you're driving. You think they care? They're not thinking about you. My mentor told me this a long time ago. People are not thinking about you. You know what they're thinking about? They're thinking about what you're thinking about them. That's all they're doing. They may give you a flash for a moment. Somebody may look at you as you walk down the street if you've got the outfit on or the car, but they're not up at night worrying about, oh, Eric, I wonder what his Lamborghini's doing right now. No, they don't care. So this is one of the traps, and it's because you don't have your core values. When you know your core values, that's how you can move quickly. That's why I say money like speed. If you can't move quickly, if you don't know what you're going to do with your money before you get it, if you haven't set that money table, then they get pulled into those traps. So great question. But I want to hear some gold bars from the Godfather.
Oh, like I know, in business, it's very easy to spend on the wrong things, but at the same time, you must invest in your business. I think that's the main point I want to make. You can't do everything on free. You just can't. Like, you have to. You're not gonna grow. You're not gonna get the key features you might want in a service. You're not gonna get the best advice. If everything's free, you're gonna get free stuff, right? Free, the stuff that's low quality. So you have to invest in your money somehow. But make sound investments. Choose wisely. Now choose something that's gonna give you a return. Saying as Queen Leah says, I totally agree. Many people go for the look. Forget the look. Your money is the only thing that matters, right? Don't waste your money where you don't. If you don't need it, don't spend it. You don't look good. No one cares. No one cares, right? But still, you have to make the right choices, invest in the right places. I say all that. Some people invest because of the name of the person behind the brand. Don't do that. What are you going to get from spending your money? That's a question you want to ask yourself, really, right? Poor investments. Talk to a financial expert. Always talk to a financial expert. Don't invest without talking to an expert. There's no way around it. That's the only thing I can say to you today, right?
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I remember a time, this was many years ago, I was looking for someone to sell my offer. And I met with a rep from, I don't know if it's one of those Zip recruiters or something like that. And they said I would have to pay $850 a month. And that was a lot of money to me that time. I'm like, I'm not going to pay that. And then I went on Craigslist and it said every time I do it, it's $35. So I paid $35 two times. So that's what, $75, and I got somebody. Right. So again, I mean, you have to be creative. You have to be creative, right? And I got somebody, and I only paid $70-something, right? Instead of paying $850 every month, right? So just compare different alternatives, and don't go for the most expensive because you want to look good. All right. So these two questions came in. I want to ask to talk about them real quick. So Uchenna says, what if you are in a place where the government or economy does not help or support entrepreneurs properly, which tends to affect the way reinvestment is supposed to go? If I'm making sense. Okay. So I'm gonna let my panel speak, but I have to say this because I know where you're from, and I'm from the same place, and I understand. But here's what I'll tell you: do not use anything as an excuse to be unsuccessful in your business. Don't make that an excuse. Why do I say it's an excuse? Because there are people in your country that are successful in business, right? So do what they do. But that's a great question you asked. And the millions of people think the same way you do. And they're like, okay, I get, they throw their hands up. Oh, it's over. Nothing I can do because I'm in this country. Trust me, there are people in your country that are very successful in what they do online and beyond. Okay, but I'm going to throw it out to my good friends Leah and Annie to share. Go ahead, Leah.
Absolutely, great question, and I appreciate the courage it takes to ask this question. Okay, I truly, truly do. But listen, we're entrepreneurs. We're entrepreneurs. We find a way. Champions always find a way. It's like I tell my precious grandson, he's 7 years old, and he knows. He'll tell me, oh, Gam, he was playing baseball this past. It's hard, Gams. Yes, it is. That's right. But that's why you're going to do it, because you're a champion, and champions do hard things. Entrepreneurs are not looking. I'm sorry. I know it's like you want the government to support you. You want there to be programs. Everybody always says that. Listen, your success is going to be built out of pure grit. Anybody could be an entrepreneur. If they're handing out bags of cash, everybody would be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs think differently. And that's what you could tell if you're truly an entrepreneur, because you will find a way. I'm excited to hear about your success. Please be sure to tag me. Let me know what's going on. I want to hear about it. What do you think, Godfather?
Great question. Look, here's this, you both said it. The simple truth is that the economy, the government does not affect your revenue. People think it does. It doesn't. It really doesn't. People, as Eric said, people are still buying what they need today. In every economy, every country, in a recession, £1 million businesses are built. They started in economic downtimes. Don't worry about that. Focus on your business. Focus on creating a solution people need, and do the work. As Queen Leah said, do the work. Literally, find a way to get people to know you exist. Find a way to get people to know the value of what you offer, how you can help them, and find a way to deliver every time. If you do that, it doesn't matter where you are. So people think in the US and the UK, governments just throw money at you. They don't. I've never had government money, not a penny of it. Really, so you're gonna have to build your business in Nigeria as well, my friend. Seriously, it can be done. I mean, I can mention many names who are making real money today, right now. But you be one of those. Work it out. Work out what you have to do to make money and serve people. That's the simple truth. Let me leave it there. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Man, what I was saying was so profound. I'm sorry you guys missed it. I wish I could remember what I just said. But anyway, so what I want to say is this, Uchenna, look at the bright side. You have benefits by living in where you are, and you're not living in America. I don't know exactly where you are, but there are certain benefits that you can enjoy that we don't enjoy in America. Here's an example. The guy that does my ebooks, right? He's in Nigeria. He does all my ebooks and I pay him in dollars. He has multiple clients, right? He told me he's made over 40,000 US dollars doing ebooks for Americans, right? He makes more than his parents and his parents and his brother and sister put together. And he's like 20 years old. That's a benefit. It's a benefit because when he converts US dollars to Naira, he's rich in Nigeria. Right? So I want you to look at the bright side of everything, okay? And take 100% responsibility on your business. What do I mean 100% responsibility? If things aren't going right, say it's my fault. What do I need to do? When I started doing that, it changed my life. I took responsibility for it. I stopped blaming the government. I stopped blaming my boss. I stopped blaming my friends. I just took 100% responsibility on everything, and my life changed. So, 3 minutes to go on our call. I just gave you a nugget that can change your life. Take 100% responsibility, and you will be shocked at where you find yourself in a year or two. Okay, great question. I wish we can get to the others. That was a great question, but we can't. We only have 2 minutes left. So I just want to thank everybody for coming. Definitely share this with more people. Share this, like I said, take the link, share it on Instagram, share it on YouTube, on LinkedIn, and I'm gonna work on fixing this in a way, in terms of getting back on LinkedIn. Okay, I'm gonna do something to do that to help you all out. We appreciate everybody being here today, and we'll see you same time, same place next week. And connect with my speakers, Annie, Leah, connect with us so you learn everything that we do. All right, thank you, Uche. He said perfect. Thank you, guys. No problem. It's not your fault, but just take responsibility. Very good. And by the way, the government doesn't stop you from listening to people like us. You still get to listen to people like us and learn from us, right? That's another benefit. All right, so we're gonna let you go. It has been a plum-pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege to be here with you all today. Take care and make it a great week. Bye-bye.